Streaming. I'm not even gonna mess around. We're getting right into gaming. Gamer sounds. Let me grab a brush. We are live. Wonderful. Howdy. We're just kind of going through and painting some details today. We got a whole bunch of details to get covered, and so I'm just going to start chugging along at them. Let me bring them all in. There's some stuff that's almost finished as well. Hello, Mossyman. Good to see you, sir. Right now we just got details we're about to be cracking on with. The crates turned out awesome after they dried. I'm incredibly stoked with them. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the future. But when I was looking at a previous crate I did, I guess to awake you probably. When I was looking at our previous crate, one thing on it that's different from the rest, focus, is I actually put a decal on it. I put an Aquila on it. And so at some point I am probably just going to go back and put some Aquilas onto these guys as well, which is going to look a lot better, I think. They already look pretty decent, and I think if I were to do them spammed-wise, it would be probably not necessary to do decals, but for these guys, because it's only 4 of them, I'm going to do decals. What can I say? I'm a good guesser. Now, let's see. Without further ado, we're just going to run right into it. There was some dark gray that I have not painted onto some areas and some handles yet. I just forgot, so I'm going to do that real quick before we continue on with anything else. Namely, the hatch handle. And then a side skull here and on the other side as well. Handle on this hatch. And this is also my first time having a spare wheel on the side of the tank. And I think I want to do the outside of that with the dark gray as well. So I'm going to start cracking on with that. And I still have some dark gray on the palette, although it is, oh goodness, it's almost dried up. So I'm just going to re-moisten that with some water real quick. There it is. Yeah, that water is helpful because there we go. Now it's acting as a paint should be, rather than just a thick gel. All right. Nice and straightforward here, pretty much. Nothing too crazy. Just more base coating. All right. There we go. It's looking. The day was wonderful. Thank you for asking. Got a lot of making progress on the Warlord Titan video. I'm beginning pretty much the final segment now, which is discussing Cheapy's Titan. So, got the first bit of that done and dusted, or we're starting to move in that direction, which is awesome. And aside from that, yeah, it was pretty ordinary. How about yourself, sir? Was it everything good for you? Hopefully you don't got nothing keeping you awake. There we go. That just realized I actually got to be careful on this because Dectan will show any micro mistake. There we go. That's looking good. And then it looks like I overspilled some on the bottom, but I did not. That's a shadow. You just gotta believe me. There it is. All right, and then the rim of the wheel. And I don't know. I might do the clamps of silver at some point. We'll see how the whole thing works. I've actually never painted a spare wheel before, so it's kind of fun. And I know sometimes on my tanks I'll actually draw the gray on the inside of the wheels to look cool, but it's not like a standard thing I do. It's very spur of the moment stuff. All right. Yeah, okay, we're getting better at being in frame instinctually. This is perfect. All one might ask for. Okay, cool. Oh, also some exciting news. I might be streaming Saturday. Don't think too hard about why the Titan would. This is a jumble. I'm gonna try to read it. Don't think too hard about the why of the question, but would your Titan being mysteriously stolen hinder the video? Oh, I get it now. Nope, because I actually got all of the footage I need of it. The only reason it would still be preferable is so it would be in the background when I speak. But aside from that, I got all the glorious stuff, so it wouldn't hinder it too much. Are you trying to steal it? Well, that might be a challenge because I literally guard it like I watch it like a hawk. I'm very possessive. That's why I'm into Warhammer in the first place. I would sooner offer like no. No. Uh-oh. What's no? Who knowed? Oh, is that the wrong answer? Whoop. Whoops. We messed up big time, boys. There we go. Alright, that wheel looks good. Then I think I'll just do... The thing is, these wheels are going to be covered with mud, so I'm actually not going to worry about that at all. Never intended any thieving? Of course not, of course not. And that puts me at ease, so I appreciate that. There it is. I almost forgot the handle back here, jeez. There's a lot of gray that will just sneak up on me, golly. Alright. There's that, and then these skulls. Might try some reflections on the skulls. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Alright. Now that's all looking mighty fine right then and there. And then I don't think there's any gray for the rest of this question mark. Yeah, I think we're just... Oh, nope. Wow, okay. The little handles are everywhere. We got this little hatchback here. There we go. Okay. Okay, so there's a handle. I don't do those hinges because that's just a hinge. I think we're good now. I think we're golden. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Anywhere else that needs it? I'm not seeing anything. And I'm just kind of... Let's see. It's a matter of what do I want to work on next. There's a whole bunch of stuff, so it's kind of just a matter of looking at something and then saying, like, okay, let's give it a whirl. And I think what I want to do next is... You know what, let me look at what we got. Tags. That's how long it's taking me to do these details. There's dust on them, rip. You know what? I'm gonna actually start doing the bit of non-metallic metal on these Aquillas and stuff. I'm actually gonna do that real quick. And for that, let's see. I use the German dark gray to base it. Now next, I'll do a highlight of just some standard dark gray. Put a little bit of that on the palette. This is where the palette starts to really get some space taken up it because there's going to be a lot of paints here as we begin this whole shebang. All right, I'm just going to get a little faint amount of paint on it. And I'm just going to focus on... First, still have gotten the grubbers on. Ah. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure if the Rogaldorn one I was talking about is still up there. I got it a little bit ago, but yeah, it's it's like it's going hunting essentially is what it is, you know. One day you'll find a 6-point deer, or in your case it'll be a tank STL. It's just a matter of patience and getting out there, you know. But as long as you're actively looking, you will find it. And sometimes surprisingly fast. Okay. I'm almost doing like a dry brush on this guy. So there's that. Nice. No more Aquillas. I'm not going to do some non-metallic metal on the handles. Except I will do it on this guy because now I'm actually... yeah. I know, yeah, that... The Warlord, it shows up all the time. It's hilarious. Do something like that, because I am actually kind of curious to see how some non-metallic metal would look right there. And then the cannon. Cannon. This is where we might want to take a little more time. Although this is just the dark gray, so it just kind of roughly goes everything nice and decently. All right. And this is, you know, it's good practice for non-metallic metal, but it's also good practice for fast non-metallic metal. I also love Aquillas. You missed the notification? It is all good, sir. I only just started streaming 11 minutes ago. And it's just been some gray stuff, so you haven't missed too much, my friend. But I appreciate you coming to join us for a little bit. It is greatly appreciated. Right now, I'm just starting to practice some non-metallic metal. That's funny. On the camera, that's kind of the look I'm going for. You can see the reflections on the skull while the paint is still wet. Yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be aiming for with this one. This shouldn't take too long because I try not to fuss too much about... Oh, hold on. I keep forgetting there's skulls on the side of this guy that I keep missing. There we go. Good angle there. And now this, I'm almost just taking the back of this, because the brush, you can kind of see it. It kind of curves upward. That's synthetic for you. But I almost just use that as like a dry brush and just go up, down, everything real quick. Making sure there's a little paint on the brush. This will be a bit of an interesting angle to get. But, yeah, we got it. More or less. There we go. There. There's also, this was from, I think I wiped this off because the airbrush thinner also kind of acts as a cleaner sometimes. But that's just going to be some battle damage at some point. And it'll be some decent looking battle damage, I hope. Alright, there's that piece. And then it's this piece. Thankfully, I have so many grays that I don't ever worry about mixing the grays. I just go from the dark gray, or the German dark gray, which is almost black, and then the dark gray, which is this current color. And then I go from that to, I think it's neutral gray. And then I go lighter. Then I think I use deck tan and then white. So, thankfully I just have all those on hand so I don't got to do any mixing. Alright, so there's all those good as gold. Or silver, we're going for silver. And now let me grab the next color. Neutral gray. That's this guy right here. Give that a decent shake. Try not to blow it up in my hands. It failed. It blew up in my hands. And now we got plenty of it, to say the least. I get a little bit of that on my brush there. Wipe it off. Now, back to this guy here. So this is where I almost want to go a little finer. And let's just go very lightly here. Although I guess really it would be kind of more so on a side there. And I'll just kind of hit the edge there to be like almost like an edge highlight. We'll see how it looks. The fun part is the Aquila. And there we go. We're actually at a decent angle with the Aquila. Now the reflections can vary as far as where I aim. Like I'm going to aim for the corner on this guy. Kind of just generally aim for the edges of the wings here. And then, of course, the round top of the skull. And then I kind of move down a little fast. And then I'll do the next reflection on, like, the outside of the tips of the wings here. And then just move in carefully. And just hit those edges and try to get all of them decently. And there we go. That's not too bad at all. Then I'll just hit the tip of that there. And that's about, yeah, that's all for there. Now on to the cannons. This, I will say, this is actually, this cannon here, the oppressor cannon, I mean, the size of that Aquila, that's a pretty decently sized thing. So it actually makes it very fun and straightforward to practice your non-metallic metal on. So I do try to use that. And I will try to copy those reflections there just so the lighting is all consistent. Because I like to imagine I'm that good enough to try to keep consistency like that. All right, there's... You can kind of already see we got some startings of some reflections and fun stuff here. And again, and this is not with a fine brush. I do have a fine brush, but I'm not going for anything gnarly here, you know. Let me make kind of a large spot on the skull. Highlight the wings a bit. Just a bit. Fairly straightforward like that. Not bad at all. Run along the side here. There we go. And then there's that guy, kind of nice, done and dusted right there. And let me just check. Okay, hold on. Just checking something on the stream real quick, but it looks like we're all good. We're good, we're good, we're good. Nope, don't do that. All right. Fair enough. And that looks pretty decent, if I do say so myself. Now, now for these skulls, which I am just going to go over the top and then kind of just brush some highlights on, sort of like that. Try to keep a decent angle. There we go. Hit the top there. Hit the bottom there. Perfect. Last bits of skulls here. And thankfully there's like little enough skull details, so batch painting all these highlights is not an absolute chore. It is fun to just kind of repeat these steps and really get them nailed down quick and easy, you know? Like that. That's pretty decent. Now we're on to a lighter color, which will be, let's see, that was neutral gray, so next we'll, hold on, let me look. There, okay. Let's see, the next color will be, I have a blue-gray pale, but hold on, let me see if this is actually something I'll use. I actually will use blue-gray. I think I'll use blue-gray instead of white, and then I'll use white instead of deck tan. Just because the blue-gray will kind of add that almost more, that, because true metal or non-metallic metal kind of has almost like a bluish texture or a color to it, stain almost. So I'll give that a go here. And this blue-gray, now that I'm using it, it's not like, it doesn't look incredibly blue, so it shouldn't hinder anything badly. Let's give it a go there. Just dot it. Just hit the edges again. And I'm really trying to be fine with hitting the edges of the wings here. It's actually going fairly swimmingly right now, which is nice. Wow, okay. I am kind of stoked with how that's working. All right, there we go there. Looking good, looking good. And we're starting to, can already start to see the resemblance of some non-metallic metal there. And all done fairly quickly. I might have gone a little over with the blue-gray, but we can always tidy that up with some glazing. Then I will hit this guy, and I'll try to hit him literally just from the edges. So I know we do a little there. We also try to keep it going there. That's looking... Oh, sorry, that was out of frame. But, you know, that's what we're doing there, right there. Not the finest thing, but I mean, it works. From far away, it is popping a lot more than it was. And then let's see, no other Aquillas here. Perfect. Now the big gun. So let's see. We'll go kind of carefully in there. Now this might be like a good spot to like start doing some very fine brush work, you know. But I'm going to still just try to go about the normal pace and see what we get with just that. Kind of working around, there we go, working around the skull, hitting edges, sort of like that. And then the edges of the wings. Thankfully the paint is not drying out instantly. We're able to do that a lot better. All right, there we go. We're starting to get something, right? Quick and easy. All right, don't forget the sides of these. I know that's my favorite thing to forget. All right, that's looking... Okay, this actually isn't looking half bad. Perfect. And nice. Perfect and nice. All right, cool. Last cannon, and then it's just like the little highlights of white, and then I'm calling it good. And you know, it's easy to just quickly do something like that. So if you're ever bored with like some other steps, maybe painting like several wood crates and you just need something to like just try and be a little creative on in your batch painting fiasco, then this is not a bad idea. Exactly right. All right. There we go. There we go. There's something. Shit. Last color, white. And then the white I will actually thin down with a little water. I haven't thinned down any of the other paints, but the white I think I will. Just to try to get a little more control over it and then build up some highlights as far as that whole operation goes. So we'll see how it goes. All right. White on the palette. And, you know, from a decent distance away, that's not bad at all. That's quite acceptable right there. I am just going to push it with the white, though. We'll see what we can't figure out with it. Let me get a little water on it just to create a little glazing. If we're going to be really fancy with that. Now we're thinning our paints. We're in the big leagues now. Oh, dear. Okay. Here goes this bit of business. All right, the glaze is looking nice. Gonna try to just hit like corners and edges. Yep, looking good. Okay. Maybe hit a little much down there, that's okay. Trying just to hit the edges. This is where we actually practice patience. Golden Demon, that's the next video, believe it or not. No, I'm kidding. Like, oh yeah, we're one step closer to that. We're joining all the elite painters with this one, boys. Here it goes. All right. That's cool. That's neat. And that's nuts. Okay, there we go. Don't forget to highlight that a little bit. And I'll highlight the bottom of this guy here. And, you know, that is non-metallic metal. Although it looks like the white did go a little bit into the left eye, so that kind of looks a little janky. Will that autofocus? I gotta go back a bit. Yeah, so I think I'll actually, let me just grab a little bit of gray paint right there, right now, and try to salvage that whole thing real quick. But I mean, overall, not terrible for someone who's not good at it. Oh yeah, we are in full tank force right now, gang. That solved that problem-ish, so we'll roll with that. Okay, right. Now back to our thin down white. We're trying some non-metallic metal on a tank now, so we're doing fancy stuff. We're getting fancy with it. And then let's see, I have this hatch right here. This is where you'd really want to be thin with the line, which we are. Here's you. There's you. You know, now a straight surface like this, you can kind of see where my whole strategy sort of falters a little bit. Because that kind of just looks like a bright handle. Fair enough. But, you know, from far away, it's something. So we're gonna be good with that. Now on to there's the big guy. This is the big Aquila. Doing lines now, that escalated quick. I know, right? We're not messing around here. Okay, let's get this guy all lined up. Doing some pro gamer work right here. This is why we motion track with snipers in Battlefield 1. So we're great at precise motor controls. Oh yeah. Maybe do a little more of the white here, and then we'll actually blend it back in a little bit. Oh gosh, okay. Overdid that, RIP. Okay, let's do the front area now. Get the edge. We're edging it. Wait. Never mind. Okay. Try to keep it fine. I know this is riveting commentary, but I'm trying to lock in. I know, right? Battlefield 1, this economy. What? Say what? Yeah, that's probably my favorite game of all time, though. So yeah, there you will be getting a lot of that. Okay, let's see. That's kind of partly why my army is the way it is because of Battlefield 1. And you know, that's, you know, it's bright, right? And there's stuff happening. Which means it's non-metallic metal. That's like legally that's what it is now. So boom. That's how easy the whole operation is, gentlemen. All right. See. Here we got I don't know if I'm saying your name out, but I'm saying Sinisti. Did you main sniper? Yeah, generally I'm support, but I've started to... I missed you last stream to talk rubbish about... Yeah, fair enough. Well, there's always today. I main support, but I have been doing sniper a whole lot. Because, however, I'm a different kind of sniper. I'm a sniper who actually... I'm a frontline sniper. I do rush the objective, and I've actually gotten many insane clip of me running forward with the Martini Henry sniper, putting one right in the chest and dealing 95 damage, and then I whip out my revolver and finish him. And I've done a lot of combos like that, including a double one just like yesterday. So, but I don't want to inundate the channel with game clips. That would be that I might do. I'll have to do something different for those. And I might stream it at some point. Dude, CQB sniping is my favorite thing to do. I love that game because I feel like they've nailed just the pacing of it. And also, the other reason why it's the greatest thing known to man is bayonet charges, of course. I mean, what? That's sick. So Battlefield for the weekend stream? Perhaps. Yeah, I was thinking... What was I thinking? Yeah, I was thinking of doing something like that. I might have to move my whole. I probably would have to move my whole operation to my room because the PC that I'm streaming this on is like 10 years old, and so it doesn't run it very well. But my post of 2014 MLG montage, I may have to. I may have to. I think. I don't know if I somehow wormed a clip or two of it into the Warlord Titan video. I think I edited it out because I'm like, okay, I can't force people to watch this. This is outrageous. This is the Warlord Titan video. But yeah, we'll certainly see what happens. But yeah, might be doing some Battlefield this weekend. I'm thinking weekends might be fun to do some gaming streams on because I don't know. We'll see what times they happen. Might not be a strict 2 o'clock or whatever it might be. I just roll out of bed onto the computer. Who knows? It's the weekend. It's a free-for-all. Although, will there be a Doritos and Mountain Dew? I mean, probably. It's gonna be, I'll get the Trader Joe's equivalent of them all to really just let you, to Gen Z-ify the entire thing. I do Trader Joe's now, sorry. I do Mountain Joe and Joe Ritos. Let's see. Yeah, I'm dogging a company already. It's early, you know. I'll go on a rant later in life about the whole thing. There's some non-metallic metal, ladies and gentlemen. We did that, and we are segueing out of my rant, the soon-to-be rant, and that's decent. Let's actually zoom out. Oh, actually, hold on, wait. I'm re-looking at this whole thing from far away. It's good to look at things far away. That white dot on the top of there just needs a little better blending, so I am just going to get some of the light gray and better blend that in. So hold on, let's see if we can't do that right quick. And try to do something special. There we go. Okay, Grandpa, time. I know. Gotta remember the medicine. This is good. Let's see if that's... Yeah, that's kind of thin enough. All right, cool. Then I'll come back and we'll dot in a little bit of the white there. There we go. Okay, I'm thinking that's better. It's a little better. And a little better is a whole lot better than it was. There's a quote. All right, there's that done and dusted. Cool, neat. You know, I'm not the best at it, but I do find it very fun to do that. It's very satisfying to do. And so now that that's done, let's see. Now, actually, let's move on. Actually, no, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save the actual true metallic metals for later. Later down the line, before I muddy up the entire water pot. For now, let's begin details. We have all kinds of random assortments here. How did I paint this? I think I just painted them with khaki. Hold on. Oh, those guys I actually did I did slap chop on them. Will I do that here? No. In fact, here's what we're going to... Actually, yeah, we will. Because I'll just dry brush it. Because the texture of a dry brush on the sandbags might actually look cool. I already got white out. Let me just grab the dry brush. Anything else I'd need to slap chop? No. Not really. Let's grab some white there and just wipe all that off. And then we do some dry brushing shenanigans. We do the fabled slap chop. This thing was very popular when I started the hobby. This is what was all the rage. I don't know how many people still talk about slap chop, but this was, when I got into it, it was a little after I got into it, and then next thing you know, this thing, it popped off, and I'm like, whoa. Although it is satisfying. I'll give it that. I don't do it too much just because I like the drab military colors, which is just like do some greens and then you put a dark wash over it and then boom. And it's a little more grim dark, you could say. But for stuff like this, I really enjoy it. I also did it on Tyranids. On Tyranids, I have the most fun doing it. And I have considered on many occasions doing a whole Tyranid army just because Slapchop's fun to do on that. You know, and this, I think this is my first time doing a dry brush with the new Army Painter brush on doing some Slapchop, and I'm actually really enjoying this now. I think the reason I wasn't big on it before is because I didn't have like these round goat hair brush things. But now I'm like, okay, hold on, I'm vibing. That was too much, but oh well. That's actually probably for the best. That'll get us the most bang for our buck. Let's see. There's all that, and then the bottom's basically black. That is fine. Perfect. Don't take any of that out of context, and we're good. All right. Now that's fun. I got a kick out of that for sure. I'm going to do a little bit maybe on the ropes. Do I need it on the ropes? Probably not. Probably not, but I'm going to do it just in case. All right, there's that. Good and gold. And that's all for that essentially. I'm wondering if I want to try it on small details, like super small details like that. You know what? I'm going to give it a whirl. No ideas for the canisters in the box. I'm thinking of possibly painting them different brass and silver colors. Maybe. Possibly, perhaps. Because, yeah, I'm thinking they're just going to be containers for something. But I think two different colors might be fun. But ultimately, we will see what happens. And we might get to that in this stream, so we'll see what happens. Also, I'm kind of vibing with this, just because it kind of shows up on camera good, but the textures it makes is a nice, almost scratched up kind of look. It's got a decent vibe going for it, so I think I'm just going to keep that vibe going and do this as well. Just try stuff. I don't usually slap chop these guys, but it might be fun just for some extra texture and shenanigans happening for them, you know? So we'll give it a whirl. Also just got to be very gentle, because these guys are barely holding on. The guard armor dude, I do too. I do too. Because I know at some point, the two new vehicles, perfect, I love them. Perhaps because the fight against Nurgle. Actually, that's actually a great... Yeah, what if they're like gas mask... Yeah, filters. Yeah, what if they're like filtering out different tanks or different front line areas? That might be a great idea, actually. I like that idea, so I'm going to keep that in the back of my head, because that's fun. Ooh, yeah, maybe put like some hazard decals on it, so it's like, or something like... Yeah, I like your style, sir. I'm digging it a lot. But yeah, back to the two new vehicles though. Love them. Because I was thinking about getting like the World War II game Bolt Action, because I have a German army. I was thinking of getting a half track just because I wanted to paint a half track, and then Warhammer was like, you don't need to leave our company to do that, and I'm like, deal. You got me. And just like that, I'm still roped into your game. Which is fine. Let's see, these guys are barely hanging on with any blue tack, so I'm actually going to get a little more from a container here. All right. Yeah. Yeah, because one thing I was thinking of doing, and this was a long time ago, and now I probably don't need to do it, but I was thinking of getting a Chimera, and I liked the idea of like sawing the back of the Chimera off, so I could put like some people in the bottom of it to make like a cool little looking thing. And then the half track came out and they do that for you. So that kind of works out. And then the Hippogriff, I like it because it's small. And I love small armored vehicles, like armored Sentinels and Scout Sentinels. They're like one of my favorite vehicles to paint, just because they're like a perfect medium size. I think I have one actually right behind me. Convenient enough. Anti-air Chimera, exactly. But yeah, but like these guys are my favorite thing to paint, just because like they just fit into your hand, and they're so just lovely. and they're small and they're easy enough to do that you can get them done quickly. I batch painted a whole bunch of them at one point. This guy I did solo, so I could give him some fun-looking trench designs and stuff like that. But yeah, love these. And the hippogriff, I think, is, you know, not like the... It's like a bit bigger than this, but it still fits that sort of style. Thank you. Yeah, the posing, like, probably realistically, a sentinel would not actually step into a cramped trench like that. But I wanted the trench, but I also I didn't want the sentinel standing like literally an inch higher than usual. And so this way I was actually able to keep him standing at the standard height. So that actually kind of worked out there. So that was fun. Might do some more trench designs like that in the future. Now I'm gonna I think I will actually try dry brushing these bags as well. So let us away on that whole shebang. That's a little too much paint, but it's fine. We can recover. And the other thing is, this is all definitely getting a black wash by the end of it, so does not matter too much because there will be a heavy wash, just because I love my heavy washes. All right, and that guy's already looking great. My fave 40K tank, that's a very interesting question. Because there's different categories almost. I think ultimately it would be probably the Rogel Dorn tank, just because I'm painting my 5th Rogel Dorn now. But that's mostly just because of how the kit goes together and just how much fun I have painting them, just because they're a nice medium model. But as far as just like overall, so that's probably my favorite tank, just because I have I have a bunch of them. But I also really like the look of the Malkador. That's what it's called. Jeez. It's been in Legends for so long, I forgot the name. Dude, I was so devastated when they finally brought the Malkador into plastic. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get so many Malkadors because it looks a lot better with a World War I themed army. And then it was like, no, they're in Legends now, pal, and I went RIP. But I did get some 3D printed ones off of Etsy and painted those guys up, even though they were in Legends, just to be like, just so I have them. And yeah, they were some of my favorite things to work on. And these guys, dude, Slap Chop is I'm enjoying this base coating process with this brush. I think that's why I kind of stopped doing my Tyranids, is I didn't have a brush like this. That is true. The Lehman, like the silhouette of it is basically inspired by a Mark 1 to Mark 5 sort of silhouette. And I do like them. I think I just got to paint more of them. I have 2. And then 1, I did like some tactical... Wait, do I have that behind me? I do have it behind me as well. Lamo. There it is. So yeah, I did do 1, and I put some I put some trench rails on the back of it, which turned out pretty nice. I do like the look of it. And then yeah, obviously that silhouette, very World War I. And I painted it to kind of resemble World War I. Now, I know at the time, I didn't know there was a bunch of... Ever play Halo? Oh, did I ever play it? I've played it multiple times, sir. But yeah, I did go for a World War I vibe. I also did go with the green because after watching... I saw a lot of debates as to what colors tanks actually were in World War I, and it was either the green or it was like a mud brown. I believe the consensus now is mud brown after I did some more research, but I started with green, and it has a nice military look to it, so I kind of just continued with that. They have a Halo crossover? Oh, dang. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Jeez, okay. It sounds like they're crossing over with all kinds of stuff. That's fun. All right, there's that. This guy has a little more defined detail than the other one. Level 40K. Yeah, I heard about that. That sounds fun. I might have to pick that up. That might be fun. I make some good fun weekend streams, too, when we start doing those. Let's see. Now we got a bunch of stuff slap chopped up. Now time to paint said stuff. And I'll start with the sandbags, which I want to say I just used Desolate Brown or Brownish Decay. I think it was Brownish Decay. No, sir, I am not. I'm a elementary school graduate. So, yeah. There's, oh yeah, Speed Paint. Only other paint brand I use is like Army Painter Speed Paint. I actually have all my Citadel paint products right here. Boom. And I got that because I was trying to make a French World War I army, but this is too much like ice blue rather than a... Yeah, it sounds like that is the old... That sounds like the grand strategy that's happening right now. When it's on sale, I'll see if I have enough funds for it. I know. Dude, it was a sign from God for me to not paint Frenchmen, because back in 9th edition when I started and I was going to start doing the whole operation, there were 4 different types of infantry. You had, let's see, you had the, let me go over, let's see, you had the Krieg, the Cadians, the Catachan, and then the standard, and then just infantry squad, right? And so when I was doing my World War I themed army, I was going to have the Cadians be British, the Krieg be the Germans, and the Catachan be the Russians, and then the infantry squad be the French. And so I started fiddling around with schemes, but before I was able to pick something and then buy a whole bunch of kits for that, infantry squads were done with. And so that ended the thoughts of French very quickly. Maybe for the best. Anywho, let's do some Desolate... I haven't done some, Oh, French mentioned. Rip, my bad. My bad, gang. Hold on. I got to do an apology video for such a absolute tragedy. Where's my brush? There it is. We mentioned France. Okay, we're gonna just drop this and then see what happens. Yeah. The toxic French terrain. Chugging down the tracks that's underneath Belgium. I think I got a good enough voice to do that. That's a joke. Okay, speed paint equals fun. I'm enjoying speed paint. I will say speed painting over slap chop is an amazing experience. There is nothing like it. And it's a unique style. How did I prime my Titan? I used spray can primers from, I just used Rust-Oleum. I used some of their camouflage range, which I guess people use for, like, if they're doing duck hunting, they'll, like, camouflage spray, like, buildings or stuff like that. But it's very matte. They're very matte colors. And they work just as good as primers, and they dry incredibly fast. Because, yeah, I mean... The whole understructure of the Titan was primed with their flat earth brown, I think. And, I mean, the understructure has probably seen the most dings in me pushing it around just because it's such a big and clunky thing. None of it's rubbed off. None of it. Which is pretty impressive, not gonna lie. Okay, and there's a decent start for... sandbags. And that's how I did it on the previous tanks. Gotcha, was looking at the Vallejo primer, but I'll check out Rust-Oleum. Yeah, fair enough. I don't know if Vallejo has... I think they have spray primer. I know they have airbrush primer, which I've used airbrush primer before, and it just rubs off for me sometimes. But I've also seen, because when I researched the topic a little bit, I did see that people talked about, like it says, I believe on the bottles, like, let it sit for 48 hours. And I've seen people say, dude, just let it sit for 48 hours and then it's virtually unbreakable. But I've never been patient enough to actually try that. So that might be, that might be on me, but just, that's my experience. And then let's see, did I? I think I'll use khaki for, or this color. No, actually, hold on. Wait, what did I use for these guys? Oh, I just painted them flat. But the sandbag color's close enough. Let's see. I know, right? I'm like, I'm here painting for speed and sort of quality. I ain't got time to wait. I don't even wait for the spray paints that say 48 hours. I say, okay, it's been 20 minutes. I can still smell you, but you're not coming off onto my finger. So let's paint. Let's see. I think I'll do a brown color. Let's see. That's satchel brown, which might be a little too... Well, actually, you know, might be a little too brown, but let's just try it and see what happens. Also, you'll notice I'm shaking the paint on screen because I'm intelligent. Because I'm smart enough to do that. One day I will forget, though, inevitably, and it will be a great clip. But until then, it will be done on camera. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so now this is all brown. Very much brown, sir. Oh, that was a funny part when I was filming the Warlord Titan painting video. There was a part where I was shaking the spray paint, but it was like you would have almost thought I had purposefully shook it the way I shook it and just off camera for it to be terrible, for it to look bad. But it was funny. Let's see. I think the brown, I don't think that's a bad idea. I probably won't have to wash it once it's done because that's already pretty dark. So I think we'll be fine with that. And I'll just avoid washing it, you know? I'm going to try to avoid the actual, like, cloth things a little bit. Didn't really do that in the first one, but that's fine. The AK Interactive Spray is very good. Fair enough. I think the only thing I have from there are their washes and their Ultra Matte Varnish, which I swear by. I think I'm almost out of it, actually. Might have to re-up on that, because that stuff is my favorite product ever. Alright, there's some bags. Done and dusted. And then, let's see. I will just go ahead and... find a greenish camo paint to sort of act as our camouflage. Is it this? Hold on. Might be a shade darker. Stand by. I know I'm right off with not burnt moss. That's orc skin. No. Spray. Maybe it was actually. Maybe it was ochre clay. Hold on. And that, I haven't used that. Do any 40k characters have an American accent? That is the greatest. That's a good question. I have no idea. I think. I don't even know if they would be American accents at that point. It would be like a Talarn accent or an Armageddon accent. Orcs. Ow, sir. Ouch. Owie. Das was means of you. Golly. Okay. We're out for blood today. God. Right in the stomach with that one. Jeez. But it was funny as heck. Orcs. Golly, dude. Old Gothic. What was it called in the book? I don't... Yeah, something... Yeah, I don't know if that's their jam. It's all very interesting. Yeah, so if it's Gothic, trying to think where in the world that was. I only know Waffle House here in America. I don't really know any other places. Let's see. That's an interesting top to the bag. Actually, it kind of resembles, yeah, it kind of resembles a uniform, so that might not be a bad idea at all. Might go over with the second coat just to darken it down a little bit, but I mean, it's kind of fine, not gonna lie. Then I'll probably just go over the rope with a little something else. Let's see. There we go. Looking great. Looking great. Now let me actually go over another coat just to see what that would look like. Okay, I like the darker look, so we'll do that. Perfect. Exquisite. There we go. Yeah, I dig that. And the whole thing goes a whole lot faster, too, with speed paint. Who would have thought the product titled after speed, helps with that? That's nuts. You would almost not expect such a thing. And now we get to do a little bit of fun stuff. Or actually, while I have the satchel brown out, I'll paint the rope. We got a rope in the center here. This is satchel brown, right? Yes, it is. So let's just get that guy done there. Probably have to come in with just a standard coat over some other stuff, but at least the majority will be nicely highlighted. There. Perfect. All right. Now, the colors. Now we get to do some fun stuff, okay? So there's an actual water bottle here. I think that's water anyhow, so I am going to get a blue speed paint. The color would just be what blue? Dark purplish blue, probably. Or I just leave it with nothing because water's clear. Geez, okay. The mixing ball on this thing is set. I don't think I have... Yeah, this is called Tidal Wave Blue. I don't think I have ever used this paint. And I've had this whole set for a couple of years now, I think. Let's see what... That's it there. Looks like it's going good. You know, I agree with you there, sir. There we go. Now that's actually decently mixed. All right. Okay. Now the fun. We got a knot. The paint. Okay, it wants to blow up, and I'm not going to blow this up on stream. So hold on. Why? Okay, the nozzle is just clogged. Very interesting. Well, thankfully, I have a little tool I like to call the Poker 5000. And this simply pokes 5,000 times with one puncture. Now, there we go. And now we've cleaned that. Now when we go to put it out, boom. We got ourselves a drop of that. And that is gaming. War gaming. Trademark. Let's see. All right, now I'm actually kind of excited to see how this looks. Ooh. Ooh la la. Okay, I'm vibing with that. Very nice. Maybe go a little thicker. There it goes. Did you used to paint the Titan's main color? I'm not sure about paint pots because I don't use pots. I use Vallejo's dropper bottles. But I did not use a full... I don't think on anything I used an actual full pot of paint. I used this color and I used... Where is it? This color. Okay. So I used... These two colors were for the armor panels because there were only two different colors of armor panels. I still have plenty of flat red. The pale sand is low. I definitely feel that it is low, but I've also used pale sand on a lot of other previous projects. But it did not burn me through anything. It just might have, let's see, it did. Oh no, it didn't even burn me out here. Still have a silver, which it did not burn me out on completely. I've also blown up both of my silver pots, so that's why a lot of them were missing. And then when I dry brushed the actual understructure with silver, I didn't use like a pot specifically. I actually just went out to the local art store and just bought a very cheap silver paint. This shows up white, but hold on, let me see if I can. It is not white. There it is. It's silver. I just took a basic silver. The coverage was bad, so I just ended up stippling it. But yeah. Ever played Titanfall? I've played Titanfall 2 a couple times because Cheapy got me to get it. So I'm bad at it, but I have played it before. But I understand like the core rules. Yeah. Might have to learn that more. There's a whole lot of stuff. I'm used to. Did you clear coat the Titan to protect the paint? I did not. I usually might go over with like the AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish, but the Titan is actually pretty sturdy and pretty tough. Yeah, I mean he's good. I did just kind of just wiped off most of the black end of the brush on that part, but you know, battle damage, right? But yeah, it's pretty tough. The understructure especially is very tough. This silver paint's a bit of an armor coat, probably because it was applied so thickly because the opacity was bad. But you know, fair enough there. And let's see, that blue turned out nice. I mean, look at there, that's awesome. And I'll use a red for the fire extinguisher. So let me grab, I'll use Poppy Red. We all know where these grow. Okay. Pop that right onto there. That was a poppy pun. You're welcome. Right next to the blue. Okay, that's actually... Ooh, I like that. Okay, cool. Cool. Not bad at all. I'm going to try not to get the other side. Don't know what color I'm going to do that. What am I painting? Right now, I am painting the stowage and little details that will be going on the Rogel Dorn. Eudsuig to you too, anti-metric system. Which I hope is not a slur in French. Popping more like opium. Yeah, I get. You see, he knows. He understands, dude. He gets it. But yeah, right now, this is just all... There's a whole bunch of stowage that's going to go on this tank, and so I'm painting all of that right now. And let's see. Okay, missed a little spot there. There we go. Right now I'm doing a fire extinguisher. That's what this specific piece is. Did a bottle as well. But yeah, there's a whole lot of little details all kind of built around here, which you can kind of better see. Just, you know, I got like 3 little tubs of the entire thing there. Try not to go over paint. And that's not including... Oh, I do also have a gun. That needs to be painted as well, so we'll paint that up at some point real quick. And then aside from all those, then there's the actual guns, because I magnetized the entire thing, and there's actually a fair amount of stuff there, but I kind of just dry brush some silver, so that'll be fine. And the last thing, but certainly not least, is our tank pilot / commander guy. And he's kind of got a cool pose, I think. Although, it kind of does like he's doing a super run. Like, this would be like the pose that some stock photo of a guy running would be on for like a grocery shopping flash sale. And it would be like, 72-hour sale, get it while you can. And then you got my Warhammer 40k tanker. So, subscribe. Now, couple more containers to do here. The question is, what color? Vallejo have a known oil equivalent? I believe they have an actual black wash. I believe they have a game color wash series is what it's called. I don't... the only wash I have is Nuln Oil, but then I also made a custom wash, but this was years ago, so I do not remember the mad science experiment that happened. Although I think I did eventually figure it out a while ago when I was writing the Titan video. But yeah, they do have some dedicated stuff. And then let's see. Oh yeah, next color I want to try out. Let's see. I'm actually going to try out a yellow. The dark brown wash tastes the same. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have not seen one yet, or I've not tried a brown wash yet. The one honest question I do have, like jokes aside, I wonder how many people have unironically tried Nuln Oil just because of the meme of it. I have not, but like multiple times I've been like, ooh, I'll try it. What's the XP in chat for? Is there XP? Let's see. Oh, there's just like a top fans. Oh yeah, there's XP. I have no idea what the XP is, actually. This is my first time seeing that. No one will change that to right now. No, I'm kidding. No. Unless we become one of those bait and switch streamers and we go, guys, we just need one more subscriber and then we're gonna drink the Nuln Oil. Hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. But no, that's not me. The bells aren't that high yet. If you get 10, he will give you the Titan for real, no joke. Where? Does it say that in the XP? Wait. Oh, hold on. There's an actual thing I can read about it. Let's read about it together. What's the leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points, or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats and super stickers, learn more, or turn off in the help center. So there's that. Good thing there's 3 of us. Money's left. Exactly right. Nobody gets to feel everyone's a fan here. But yeah, that is funny. That's an interesting. There is a way to turn it off. Wait. At the help center. Hopefully this doesn't bug out the stream. Okay, I don't think it. Oh gosh, now that's a lot of words. TLDR. Yeah, the reason I have XP up there is because it's super intentional thing that I do, and it's so there's a hierarchy in the fan base. That's why I do this. Back to painting. I have a yellow. Because, you know, what if next to the water, this little container is yellow? Well, like, I'm thinking, don't know of any yellow cleaners out there. But I want to say there was a yellow cleaner. Oh, I think it's Goo Gone or Goof Off. Something like that. I think there was like a window cleaner or something. Jeez, I remember yellow speed paint. Ugh. It's kind of gross. Top fan, dude, you're doing it, dude. You're doing it. You're in charge now. You run the show. Exactly. Everyone here is equal. We just have some people that are more equal. And a pig said that once, I believe. That's where I first heard the quote, anyways. Some pig in a book. And the yellow is interesting. About the event XP against. That's for season 2. That's season 2 where we bring in foreign French countries. Foreign French countries where we bring in the French. Unless foreign French countries are a thing. That is fun to say though. If you say it right. Okay, so now we got yellow. Now we got Warhammer 40k Goof Off. Although that, does Cheapy have the Manta file? I don't know, actually. I don't think so. I don't think so. But if he did, I wouldn't be surprised, because that's Cheapy for you. Let's see. Final piece here. This looks like it might be... Oh, actually, you know what this canister actually is? Hold on. Okay, look at this white canister. Study it. Remember it. Okay, you got it? Hold that thought. I literally have it right here. It is literally just acetone. Hold on. It's the same picture. So, boom. You mean the French speakers in Canada? Yeah, that's what I meant. I'll put that over to the side there. Grab my chair. Bonk. See how, wow, okay. I'm impressed with myself. So, do I paint this like acetone? Except I already have a blue water bottle, so I won't be able to do that. Dang. And the brush fell. We found it. Okay. I'll just paint that, let's see. I think I'll paint that a standard, just like a kind of nothing really important color. I believe I usually do this one with like an ochre or a like a clay color, a clay red. I forget the exact name of it. I don't think I have it on the actual desk. View Colonial, the next Canada. Tile light. That's out of my pay grade in the whole operation. I will say, it is fun to, clay orange. Yeah. Clay orange, believe it or not. Terracotta. That's the color. It's not clay orange. It's terracotta red. I just eventually got there. Don't know where it is yet. Season... yeah, that's season 3 of the whole thing. Yeah, that's where we start to branch off. We start to branch out a bit. Okay, I'm painting that, and that just looks like salmon. It looks like someone condensed salmon into an acetone container. So I'm going to not roll with that. And I think what I am going to do is actually grab the terracotta red and use that. That way we can all actually see what the heck I'm blabbering about. The question is, where is it? Do I have it in standby? Also, my bad, I hit the camera. Is it in this thing? No. This is also, by the way, that's just a random container, though we're very zoomed in, but that's all my spare, you know. Yeah, canceled in before season 4. I know, right? Where did I have... Oh, wait. Huh. That's funny. I don't know where my airbrush paints are at the moment. Okay, we'll make it up as we go along. This is the question. Maybe I'll just do... Actually, I'll just do that silver. And we'll call it a day there. So first, I'm just going to base coat it with some dark gray. And then call that a day. La Mao. Alright. And we just... I mean, we're not even messing around. We're just getting it covered. We say ew, ew, ew is what we say to that. Also, the thin down paint is kind of going on like speed paint, which is kind of funny. And very unintentional. I think while I have the... Actually, yeah, while I have the dark gray out, I'll start doing handles on stuff, like the handle of the fire extinguisher here. Just trying to be a little careful, because now it's all tiny and stuff. There we go. Do the bottle caps here. Looking good, looking good. I think the bright colors is fun. I'm actually very happy with how they turned out. Okay, and then we just trace all this. This is the, and this can be, this is a tedious step, just because you really don't want to hit, the already painted stuff, because that would be kind of annoying to fix. All right, that's looking fine. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Do you use these for gaming, or do you like painting? Both. Right now, it's probably more painting, because I haven't played a game in a good while. I haven't played since... Well, I played a couple in the beginning of 10th edition, but then I just got a little busy, and then my gaming buddy got busy with real-life stuff. But once the Warlord Titan video is completed, and just at the start of 11th, I plan to get back into it, because I do love the gaming part of it. That's kind of why I stayed painting, is because I just like the idea of running a whole bunch of different things. Ooh, that'll be fun. Sorry, my TP in a video game, which is, it's a gacha game. You gotta wait for time to reset to get, like, more tries or whatever. That just reset, so now I'm able to do that. That might be a fun stream, except people would not know who the heck I am anymore. But that might be fun at some point. Down the line. because there's a bunch of incessant rambling in that game. However, that might be entertaining. We'll see. Okay. I'm trying to be especially careful here. And I should probably try to keep it a little bit more in frame, so my apologies, gentlemen. But we are so back, and better than ever. I will say, as tedious as this is to paint, this whole system is awesome because these like little gray basket things, they have like circles here that fit into some notches here. So if you wanted to, you could like make a bigger basket. It's actually very fun how they do it. Do I have Space Marine 2? I do not. That is another not yet thing, except I've seen it and it looks awesome as heck. And who wouldn't want to be a Space Marine, right? But yeah, because my my guard army is just so inspired by World War I kind of just play Battlefield 1. And that's kind of like, sometimes it's just like, okay, and now I'm a soldier in the 41st millennium-ish. Similar mind frame, I should say. Bayonet charges and all kinds of stuff like that. It's like it's the perfect game for me. All right, there we go. And I was upset when Battlefield 6 did not have bayonet charges, although I don't know what I was expecting. But I mean, like, I put bayonets on my modern equipment. Why don't we put it in the video game modern equipment, bro? So, you know. How live are the BF1 servers now? You know, there's not... you got to use the server browser to find games with matches in it. But there's actually... I would say, like, if you were to hop on Battlefield 1, you could find a server to play in. For me, I need American servers, or I prefer American servers for the latency and stuff like that. Lots of them. We got Bud's Exiles. There's the Meat Cleaver Gang, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's just as you find when you first begin, you could just kind of use the server browser and look. Once you find servers that are like in your area, you favorite them. And most of those servers are full a lot of the times, or about full. So there's still, you could hop on anytime. At least for me in America, it's very easy to just hop on and then get in around real quick, which is fun. Sometimes they'll be just completely dead. Like I have a preferred server that I like to go to, but if that's completely dead or if it's full, then there's a bunch of other alternatives. It's still a game that I will force my friends to get, because it's not like you get it and then you just can't play it. I will say it's also just mostly like the normal like the normal servers, normal game modes like Conquest. You don't see a lot of the fancy stuff like Air Assault where it's 100% planes. You don't see a whole lot of that. There are a couple was on sale recently. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. Is it still on sale? Do I have Steam on this computer? Nope. Dang it. Oh well. Hell Let Loose Vietnam. Ooh, I have no thoughts on Hell Let Loose Vietnam as of now. I play a whole... I do try to play a fair bit of Hell Let Loose World War II. I guess, is that how we call it now? You just call it Hell Let Loose World War II. But Vietnam looks fun, but in Hell Let Loose, I kind of like the idea of just a whole bunch of... It's not out yet. Yeah, I've just seen gameplay trailers of it. But I just see a lot of full auto, which like is fine. But in Hell Let Loose World War II, I do like the gunplay, just using all the different options. It's like, yeah, you can have some machine guns, but I love using just the like bolt actions or battle rifles like the M1 Garand and stuff like that. Vietnam looks like there's just a lot more machine guns in it, which like is fine. But I do really enjoy like bolt action rifles in games and battle rifles in games, like a semi-auto M1 Garand. Like even in Battlefield 6, I use the M14 it's in the game it's the M39, but it's an M14 because I want to get as close to like that World War II vibe. But we'll see how it ends up. We'll see. I prefer the World War I and II aesthetics of games in general, but might get that at some point. Might be fun. Let's see, I'm going to paint that guy silver now. paint that canister because now it's all dry. Using just some chainmail silver. Come on, focus. Please. There we go. Chainmail silver. Now you can believe me. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. So, not like a whole, you know, as far as the games go, I'm a very Battlefield 1 guy. That's kind of my jam, and that's basically all I play. And then other first-person shooter games, like I'll do Battlefield 6, but honestly, if I were to recommend that game, it would be if you're playing with friends. I don't like go solo onto Battlefield 6 and then fart around there. I prefer it when I'm like playing with friends. Battlefield 1, I can go on and I can just vibe alone. It's great with friends or without friends, honestly. But that's also kind of just because how the servers are laid out. Like Conquest is just you run into the objective if you want, or you just sit back and snipe. Battlefield 6, because it's so fresh, all the modes are out and available, so you and your friends can go and actually rush objectives and do stuff together as a team. So it's, you know, it's whatever. 2042, yeah, fair enough. Does the game contain French? It does. There is the French faction. And there's the French, and, you know, I can say French with a straight face. You saw that? Now watch this. Now watch this, okay? Also, I don't know if you can hear there's a street sweeper right outside, which is the perfect timing for this whole bit. So I'm going to pray he just screws off that way. I see him in the reflection of the window. Leave. Okay. French. French. No change, okay? Labelle. Did you hear that? I can't say it again. I'll actually throw up. But that was the name of the French main infantry rifle of World War I. And I don't want to talk about it. Because that rifle upsets me. That rifle makes me mad. The whole thing. Another reason why I don't dog on the British. They had the Lee Enfield. And in World War I, they had the Lee Enfield Mark IIIs. And then the Mark III Stars after the Somme. Peak rifle. You don't get better rifles than that, dude. Perfect bayonet attachment point. That was a magazine-fed bolt-action rifle. Now, yes, you didn't take out the magazines unless you were cleaning it. That was the Army doctrine at the time. But, I mean, the way you load those things and how smooth the bolt is. The bolt will run in any condition, bro. And then you got the French gun. We do not speak of. I don't know. I haven't watched Harry Potter in forever, right? He who must not be named. Did they really write it to be that much of a tongue twister? Either way. Lee Enfield peak, French gun not peak, because you reload that thing. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you moving the bolt like 15 different times to reload that thing? Oh, I don't know. I'm French. And then you have the Lee Enfield, my beloved. My beloved. Yeah. Sorry. Where am I? Oh yeah, we're painting. I was rambling about my World War I gun knowledge again. Anywho, let's paint ammo box. Absolutely riveting. Marvelous even. I will find a way to somehow talk about a Lee Enfield in one of my videos so I can just have that permanently out there. So I can have a well-written, discussed hit piece on any other gun. Do I like T? I like Nope, that sounded better in my head. I was going to say Victory, because I thought Victory ended with T. No. Any interest in aviation? Only biplanes. If I got a pilot's license, it would just be to fly biplanes. World War I era planes. That'd be the only reason. Which I did genuinely consider for a little bit there. He's talking about the Luger pistol. The thing is, I just know the rifles. I can't discuss the Luger pistols just yet. My knowledge don't go that deep as far as Luger pistols. But I could tell you everything and more about the Webley Mark VI revolver. Almost had my hands on one. I say almost. We will get the Sherlock Lee Enfield Manifesto. The thing is, you will. That's just liber. That is it. Yeah, I knew there was something T happening. Yeah, you got me. That's the headcanon. Yeah, fair enough. But also, yeah, the Lee Enfield manifesto. It's like something that's inevitable. You know, it's like the sun will rise tomorrow, right? You live in Arizona? No, sir. Too hot there for me. But like the it's like you know the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. You know there's gonna be a Lee Enfield just absolute. I don't even know. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be man praises and coddles his Lee Enfield for 30 minutes. That's probably what it's gonna be. And I'll be wearing like a Tommy helmet and everything, and I'm just gonna be like sobbing over it because it's just a peak rifle. They don't make them like that anymore, and it's unfortunate because that was the greatest piece of military anything in the history of anything. Anywho, there's the ammo boxes painted. Cha-ching. Let's see, there's a Lee Enfield body pillow on his bed. No, I don't need a body pillow. I just have an actual Lee Enfield. I cuddle my Lee Enfield. And this is canon. I have done that once. Is this oversharing? Yes. You allowed to own a Lee Enfield in your state? Yes, it is because it fits the capacity laws. Thankfully. Let's see. I think that's good. Oh, I'm just gonna paint the ropes a little, or the strings holding these cushions on a little better. Question is what color? Probably chocolate brown. I'm not gonna go too nuts. Or actually, I'll do a bright color so it's nice and highlighted. I'll do German camo pale brown for that, and then I'll do that on the sandbags as well. All right, there we go. German camo pale brown. Ba-boom. Ew, I forget I have a wet palette. I do have a bayonet of the same era. Yes, I do have a World War I bayonet. Which, yeah, I think when it goes on a Lee Enfield, it's I know it's tall when you do. Isn't there a Colt versus Glock debate in the U.S.? There might be. As far as like a 1911 versus a Glock, that's kind of... I mean, that's kind of over-ish. With Glock being the winner. Like, if I recommend something to anyone, it's I just do Glock. That's what I started on. And honestly, that's just... Objectively, in my opinion, that's the thing to do. Is everyone here from the U.S.? I don't think so. I think Mossy Mint is in Britain, right? I think. Hopefully I'm not outrageously wrong. Okay, and NC Nisty. And 5657. There we go. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is hilarious. Wow. I have like two chats going on because I have like the OBS chat and then the YouTube chat. And it translates in YouTube. So like you say Britain, I know what Britain is, okay? I might be American, but I have a little bit of an intellect. It translates it to British. It translated English. So that's fun. Jeez. We've peaked as a human race, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely funny. Okay. I'm liking these strings are a lot better. Same. Fair enough, yeah. Can I add a bayonet to the Titan and tank? Maybe. Tell the colonials are so simple. Yeah, fair enough. Might be fun to do at some point. Who knows? We'll see if it happens. If they made an STL, I might do it for the meme of it. Wait, let me test the translation. Okay, yep, let's see what goes on here. Also, come on, camera. I know you got this, pal. Boom, there you are. The camera literally needed to be coddled. Machine spirit confirmed real. Okay, there's that. All done and dusted there. And now this side, and then that. Okay, I'm liking this color. It pops nicely, and you're able to see it decently enough. Okay, so in OBS, I got like exactly what you read. It's Hallo, guten Tag, wie geht es ich heute mache ist der Stream und das Malen würde. Okay, thank you. I know, I do speak French as a foreign language. But the translated says, hello, good day. How are you today? Are you enjoying the stream and the painting? Very. So yeah, so that's what it said for me. It said, hello, good day. How are you today? Are you enjoying the stream and the painting? I will say when it was like that's not French. Oh, guten Tag, and then why Gek? Ah, yes, Italian. My bad. You know, learn something every day, right? We're very sad the American Air Show riot has been canceled due to the Iran war. It's the largest air show in the UK. I was gonna go with my brother in his birthday. Oh, dang, that's terrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's gnarly. Hopefully there's something else to do, bro. Wait, French Canadian? Help me out. It's not Chinese, is it? No, because those were like letterings I could read, right? Hopefully it's Oh my gosh, dude, I should be the one to know Spanish, golly. Oh well. Everywhere you go, there you are. Dang. Well, I'll get it right one day. I'm still learning Spaniard. Okay, there's rope. There's rope done. Bada bing, bada boom. Next rope. Ah, here it is. Okay, so I know I painted this rope brown, but I think I'm going to paint this rope kind of in that paler brown like I did everything else. So let us away, as Flane would say. This is very messy, but it's working. We're going to kind of hit the edges of... We're going to kind of hit the top of it. I'm not going to worry about tracing nothing. We ain't tracing nothing. Is your name actually Sherlock? What an inquisitive question you have there, good sir. Pray tell me why you asked it. Let's see. How should I say this? How do I say this? Is my name actually Sherlock? Did my American parents name me after the greatest detective of all time? What's everyone no. It is not my real name, sir. But it's a great name. That's why I named myself it. And I will say, when I troll people and like in real life and they say, "What's your name?" I will say Sherlock to be funny sometimes. And then run. And they'll never see me again, so it's fine. Let's see. I think... Okay, yeah, we're almost done, and then we can begin... Ooh, might be... Yeah, what's your name, social security number, date of birth, address, and favorite car? Favorite car, dude, it would have to be a... Actually, my favorite car would be... Also, apologies, camera angle. RIP. I gotta, like, sit here. There. That way we can kind of do it better. I had to move the camera out of the way because earlier today I was recording a little bit for the Warlord Titan video. Then I didn't get it 100% fixed. Favorite car, though, would be whatever the heck the car Tommy Shelby bought in Peaky Blinders. I like that whole era. That or the Rolls-Royce armored car, which is another fascinating World War I vehicle. Let's see. There's that. And I can tell you that's my favorite car because I don't know if I'd ever be able to afford one like that because I don't know how expensive those are these days, you know? Let's see. All that, wow, okay, we kind of just did all that, guys. Golly. So hold on. And then let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking at these guys closely. I want to say I actually did some dry brushing technique. Oh my gosh, I did do a dry brushing technique. I would base coat these German camo black brown, dry brush them medium brown, dry brush them pale brown. Okay, this base coat's fine, but I am going to, this will act as our dark base coat, but I am going to lighten that up because I just remembered how I did it. So that'll be fine. Let me put away my speed paints first. I didn't drop nothing. Okay. And we do a little bit of dry brushing. This dry brush, we actually pull out the, we actually pull out kind of the small brush here. So, not using the Army Painter one, that's a little big. How do you say this? Oh, spiner. So it's spine, like the thing that holds your back in place or whatever. Spine, yeah. When I was watching, yeah, I know when I was chatting in someone's live stream, he said Sherlock Spinner, and I'm like, huh? There's one end, pal. There's one end! But I don't get outrageously upset about that. No, I would never. I would never. So now I got some German camo medium brown, and I'm going to dry brush that on here. So, without further ado, camera, for the love of camp, thank you. And you know, just a very kind of over the entire area sort of stuff, you know? Not going to be the most visible. Will really, it's kind of just like the mid-tone for the highlight of this bit, but you can kind of see a little bit there. And already we got some more variation. It doesn't look so much just like a dark blob. It actually looks like a very just dull blob right now, which we will also fix in just a moment. After some little fun dry brushing. How do you spine and what is the process of spining? Well, you've heard of planking, right? So do that, but upside down. And you like, almost like you like have a little swing down, like on a beam. Oh, my beam's right out of frame, but there is a beam. Like I can hang like that. There's a beam right above there. But what you do is, if scalping is removing the scalp, exactly, stuff like that. But no, you hang a swing down that you can rest your feet in like that, and then you have, and then you basically hold on to the beam like that, and you just, you plank, but basically facing the other way around. So there you go. That was your thought? Yeah. Well, sorry to disappoint you guys, but there's actually how you spine. You got planking, and then you got spining. Like Mortal Kombat fatality style. Pretty much. You would think that way. You would think, but no, it's a whole nother self-help sort of thing. It's all, I don't know, it's what all the looks maxers are doing nowadays. Anywho, oh, that's funny, I realized that for my little stunt, I didn't go webcam. Hello. Back to, that's wrong. Live demo when? when I get like 15 pillows to be able to set on the ground. That's exactly when that'll happen. Okay, let me grab... Now we take some of the pale brown. Now we get to really do some fun shenanigans with this whole bit of business. The best burgers in the business. We're just quoting some random Wendy's commercial from like the 90s or early 2000s. I don't know. Okay, here's some fun. Okay, that is not nearly as heavy as I want it to be. There we go. There we go. See, now we got some stuff happening. So just lying down? No, because you got just your feet are hung by the swing. And then you hold yourself up on the plank, and you got to keep a straight back, just like planking. So, I mean, there you go. Because the instinct would just to be like, have your butt hanging down, just everything sags, but no, you just got to stay up like that. And that helps your spine. When is my birthday? Great question. Great question. My birthday is at some point during the year. I forget exactly when. When's yours? We are going to find out everything about this about me by the end of this entire operation here. And every year, I'm trying to think of a year when it wasn't. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Imagine I was just schizophrenic and I just saw like someone talking to me right in the corner right there. No. I just see streak marks on some trim and I don't know how those would have gotten there. Trim. I don't know if I said chin. Anywho. Best to ignore the entire thing. Now we have some actual texture on these guys. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Wonderful. Guten Tag. Terrific. Now let's see. I think probably a Tuesday. Maybe a couple. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of when the last one was. Okay, going back to the turret, this deck tan job needs a little bit of... It needs a bit of a cleanup, as you can see, so I'm going to actually just do that real quick. And it's going to be so incredibly quick, you won't even believe it. And then, honestly, let's see. Because the stream schedule is going good as far as scheduling goes. I'm doing, like, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, right? I might make some custom decals for this tank. Maybe. We'll see. Because I have an idea of what I would want to do a decal for the tank, but I am afraid to do it. But this whole operation is just me saying, screw it, we ball. And so that might just happen. Mine lines up with the release of the original Fallout game. Okay. I think we've discussed this before. I have not played Fallout yet. So I'm still stumped, personally. Although, actually, hold on. Hold on. Sir. GG, no re. And then hold on. Everyone stand. Nope. Stop. Go to mate. Boom. There we go. Going to heat up a screwdriver and apply battle damage. No, something so much worse. I have lit this tank on fire, though, when I was building it. Hold on. Monitor. Figure that out? I'll figure it out. When was the release of the OG Fallout game? Game. October 10th, 1997. So October 10th? Actually, wait, that's the AI overview. I don't trust that. Me and my friend have lost countless hours in a video game because of that. Where was... Released in October. Where's the exact game? Not year, date. Okay, hold on, wait. What was the release? Oh my gosh, date. How silly of me. Yes, correct. October. Reminder, okay, September. Okay. Now in Reddit, they say September 30th, 1997. Of Fallout 1. The best video game franchise ever. Okay, fair enough. But it is 1010, fair enough. That's kind of cool, 1010. That's very neat. Also. Oh, thank goodness you can't see the... Oh, well, you could actually probably see this. Yeah, you can see the search bar there, so you can see how I misspelled the... That pisses me off. I am just going to actually fix that. And then once I fix that, we will go back to the painting. Just so I'm not autistic. Now, let us see here. What's next? Wonderful. Another little detail for us to do. I saw Femboy. Wait, was there actually? Hold on. Wait, now I want to see this. And hold on, before I hit the search bar, I am gonna do this on stream so you guys know I'm not a coward. So let me actually, where's OBS? Hold on. Monitor. Here we go. Where's Femboy? I don't see I don't see Femboy. I got YouTube, Subway, Subway Surfers, Markiplier, FNAF, Lava Lamp, Lego Movie, Minecraft, Winnie the Pooh, Fancy Meme. Joking, but why is that a possibility? Um, shoot, So you are interested. No, the reason that might be a possibility is because, half of the Warlord Titan video, Show Explainer YouTube, Beat the Wargamer, my goat too, man. I was looking for a video about him doing his Tank Hunter Rogel Dorn for cheapy. But essentially, he's going to bookmark it for later reference. No, the reason I thought it would be possible is because half of the Warlord Titan video I've included edits of some of the most random things ever, and I honestly would not have been surprised if I stuck a Femboy meme in there. Dead honest. His raptors are why I want to do them. Ah, fair enough. Hold on, I'm going like... Sorry, I'm actually combing... Okay, we're good. We're good. We don't... Nobody needs to worry about nothing, dog. Back to the unlikely excuse. But hey, at least I was able to come up with something. Anywho... I am here to the Femboy. You see what you've done? You see what you did? You see what you created? You're slandering my name. This is the 4th stream on YouTube. I'm doomed. This is outrageous. This is unacceptable. How could you do such a thing? How will I recover? You know what? No. You know what? I like a challenge. This just digs me into a deeper hole that I just gotta crawl out of and prove my strength. I will do it, mark my words. Mark my words. And you know how I'll do it? By painting the spare magazine on a crate between a rope. Do you only collect Imperial Guard Loyalists? I collect both Guard. Imperial Guard and Death Guard. I only have like two Plague Marines painted and Typhus, but... Time to... yeah, time to rename the stream. Yep. I'm gonna call it Defending Myself Against the Femboy Allegations. But yeah, because my headcanon for my lore army is they fight the Death Guard, and so it's natural to have some of them painted up. I have made some decent stuff that I'm really excited to paint some of this stuff up. Hold on, let me just showcase you. I'm proud of this guy here. I still need to like base him and do dirt, but look at that. We got a guy standing on... Hey, actually, this is a French World War I casualty standing on, so take that, France. Boom. Aren't there Femboy furries in the Guard lore? I don't know. I haven't searched that corner of the Guard lore just yet. And when I say yet, I mean, and I'm not ever going to. Oh, how cooked are we? We're insanely cooked. Even I can't defend myself on the yet. That was unfortunate. Magazine. Look at it. Everyone shush. Are Slanesh demons femboys? Probably. Felinids, but femboy, I don't know, clipped. They have French in their numbers. Yeah, well, do you know who was sent first into the battle? The French, okay? There's no longer French in the army. That was a plan, that was in the lore, but they're not there anymore. And for some reason, for a good reason maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Anywho, magazine gets magazined. See that? Yeah, fair enough. See, you write yourself into a corner, and then you know what you do? You just send them all out into a great war. Great War, that's a World War I reference. Oh! I'm back. I gotta do a stream in my Tommy helmet and greatcoat at some point. Exactly right. I gotta just LARP as a World War I soldier. That would be... I won't respond to the penile comment. I'm mature. There's that guy. I think that's the details done. guys. Actually. So, hold on, let me... Oh, no. One last detail, and this will probably take us to the end, but I think your Death Guard needs a Chaos Warlord Titan to balance the scales. Trust me, dude, I have thought of it. I have thought of that a bit, because one Warlord Titan is cool. But you know, femboy cosplay when? When I decide to stop believing in God is when the femboy cosplay begins. So there. Did you paint the toenails on the commander yet? Poor guy. Poor commander. Boom. He doesn't have toes. He has fingernails, though. I do have a... Only his own. I mean, technically, yeah, I do paint my nails. And I'm proud of it. Slay. Okay. I'm gonna actually have to wipe this stream from existence. This is outrageous. No, I'm kidding. I'm a man of my word. Even if those words are jumbled. Lieutenant Dan. Speaking of Lieutenant Dan, I just realized in an old Instagram post... Clip that, chat. Chat, clip that. In an old Instagram post, I got a Rogel Dorn, painted it up, and I need to start doing this again on Instagram when I finish units. But I wrote a little lore on my Tank Hunter Rogel Dorn. There's why I was looking up Pete the Wargamer, because I was seeing how he did his Rogel Dorn. I did something a lot different, but I learned that this guy was command. You want to know the name of the commander of Clara? Clara the Tank Hunter? You guys might, feel insecure about your names after this. So just kind of, brace yourself. But the commander who commands that Midwinter Minis, yes. Yeah, Midwinter Minis is what got me into Warhammer. I'll touch on him in a second. But yeah, that tank commander's name is Joe Chadsworth. That was, not even a year ago me that wrote that. So... there you go there. So that's funny. Also, hold on. Before I've lost the gun. I found the gun. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back to painting. It only lives like an hour from you. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So do you visit him often? Do you knock outside his door and say, hello, can I see your Warlord Titan? All that's left to paint is this gun. How did you know your name? Isn't that your name on Instagram? I mean, I have mind powers. Because I'm that goated. Subscribe for mind powers. It's just a phase. Only when he's asleep. Ah, fair enough. As one does. As all good friends do. They watch out for each other. Hold on, I've got to grab some blue tack. Because I need to blue tack this guy back to a painting handle. This guy will get the fancy painting handle. I do have delineations of my painting handles. This guy is he can fit into my whole hand, so this is my fancy paint handle. This is okay, we're doing some crazy stuff, and I'm going to do that for a label. No. It's actually, it's based on a Lee Enfield No. 1 Mark IV. Okay, this is the British Bulldog kit. Actually, oh my gosh, it's not a Lee Enfield. I mean, it is. Oh my gosh, dude, hold on. Everyone, shh. Guys, we're going on a trip. Hold on a second, because, oh my lord, this is nuts. This is wild. Hold on. Everyone, hold your horses. I just made... Yeah, it's not French. It's, Oh my gosh, it's even better. Hold on. Okay, so we have Lee Enfield. It's No. 1 Mark IV. I will say Britain is weird for this. But it's the greatest rifle ever, so I don't hit them. They had Lee Enfield Mark III, Mark III Star, and then they had the Lee Enfield No. 1 Mark... Or no, they had the Lee Enfield No. 4 Mark I. It's actually the Mark I. No. 4, and then they just redid the marks. Okay? So here is a... That is a... Yes, so this is a Mark IV. No. 4 Mark I rifle. Okay? And if we go back and we look at this guy here, you can see the barrel kind of resembles that look. It's kind of similar, right? Just done on a smaller scale, so there's a whole bunch of stuff happening, okay? What I just realized, ladies and gentlemen, go back to the monitor, and I just realized this. If we go look at another famous British arm, and one of the rifles I have the most kills with in Battlefield 1, it's the Martini Henry. Pull a funny face. Why? No, we're busy. So hold on. I'll do it in a second. Please. And now we have this. Look at this, okay? Now, I don't know how I'd be able to show absolutely everything here, but there's the Martini Henry. Look at the back of that. You see that little safety thing, or probably the shell trip or whatever? We go back to painting, and yeah, oh my gosh, that is nuts. That is almost exactly what this back is based off of. They basically just made a combination of a Martini Henry and a Lee Enfield number 4 Mark I. Sorry, I had to go ramble about that for a second because I just realized that. Because yeah, the Martini Henry, and this is my favorite gun stock of all time. Straight, no pistol grip, no nothing. You just straight into the shoulder. That's how a rifle is. That's how you do it, lad. Kind of looks like a bar. It actually does. It very similar to a bar. But yeah, I will say the Lee Enfield though, that slight grip, perfect. Again, perfect. I can't. There's nothing bad about the Lee Enfield. There's just nothing bad about it at all. It's the greatest thing ever. But yeah, so yeah, they kind of took inspiration with the magazine. They just made the magazines a little bigger on the actual like sculpt. But then yeah, they took like kind of the front of a Lee Enfield, and they took the back of a Martini Henry. That's actually a very cool, creative decision, and I actually dig that a lot. 3 minutes. Will I be able to paint a rifle in 3 minutes? Yes. So let's do it. Let me waddle this guy back over here to see what's happening. Move the whole operate. Nope. Get out of there. Oh gosh, the stream. The situation is deteriorating. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Next up, we paint. Oh, so yeah. Hold on. You can refocus. Thank you. I got worried. We pull out our famous. Actually, here's just, and this is how I just paint rifles. Very simple. Chocolate brown is our base color. Bada bing, bada boom. Chocolate brown. Scooby-Doo, what do you do? Chocolate brown. That's the exact song, by the way. And then you just take your chocolate brown there, and you just put it on. I did not do enough chocolate brown. This was supposed to be the smoothest thing ever. We're off to an interesting start. There's some chocolate brown, ladies and gentlemen. Take some chocolate brown. Take a shot every time you hear me say chocolate brown. And base coat all the wood, because yeah, these guns do have a wood finish, even in the 41st millennium. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only linseed oil boiled rifle stocks, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, gonna do this fast, because we're just base coating the whole thing, but I also don't want it to be too thick, because we want it to dry, because the next step, very quick next steps. It's very simple to do. I will also, at some point, I have STLs for the Bulldogs heavy weapon teams. The Bulldogs are the kit that includes this rifle by War Games Atlantic. But they make STLs of the... But that STL pack doesn't have a single rifle. It's just the heavy weapons. But they do have a female version of the Bulldogs in an STL form. So I'm thinking of buying that and then just kind of cutting out a rifle just so I can print these en masse just to be like scenery or to do like gun crates or something like that. Something like that might be fun to do at some point. Mossy, guess what? You're the same Mossy Mint, but now I see a face. Is that you? You're barely rendering, but I see like, wait a minute. That looks familiar, Mossy Mint. Mossy Mint, that looks very familiar, good sir. I was just about to comment on how handsome you looked. but I have the strangest feeling, Mossy Mint. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. That just happened. Hold on, I gotta go to your channel. I gotta see this because I just see a big glare off the nose, and then I see just a mouth. Hold on, we go to the monitor. Let me move this whole thing out of the way, and let me pull Mossy Mint. Go to channel. Pull you into there. That's... Oh my gosh, I would... Wow, okay. I'm flattered. Wow. Oh, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Wait, let me... There we go. Now you'll be able to see it. Sorry, hold on. Pull up OBS. There it is. There's OBS. Now we can see what's happening. Well, what? Would you like me to change it? No, because of that photo, subscribe. I just subscribed to a new channel today. That's how absolutely goated that is. Also, yeah, don't worry about that. I'm streaming now. I'm now on the internet, and so stuff like this will happen. Probably worse stuff later down the line. I will take this for now. If you wanted to change it back, then it's fine. But yeah, I don't care. It's all good, man. All good and goated. Now let me pull the OBS. Now we can all look down. Ooh, that's a fun visual look. Okay, I got stuff I'm painting, bro. Hold on. Go to scenes. Go to painting. We're still painting, gamers. We're still gaming. So hold on. I gotta create an efficient thing for this one day. Okay, now the paint's dried. Okay, next step. Very simple next step. Wood grain. Vallejo wood grain. A beautiful thing for sure. Also, the cap just explodes internally, so I'm literally just going to grab the paint from the tip of the bottle. Yeah. All right, and then next thing we do is we just kind of lightly go over this rifle with that color. We just kind of create some streaks by just brushing in a straight line where streaks would be. Yep, I see why you wanted me to do a funny face, and that makes sense now. And that makes me even more grateful that I did not. Yeah, probably one of my prouder moments. One of my ultimate deflections. Okay, and then why this is still like tacky, I just go over it some more to really just create some streaks. And now we got a nice looking wood. And then, moving on, we do metal on the rifle before we call it done. So let's see. Let me grab that and literally just metallic that whole bit of business. We'll make it metal. And of course we metal all of this guy as well. Paint's still not, the wood grain's still not dry, but will that stop us? No. Sleeping stream with the Warlord Titan. When the closest I got to that is I posted about in my Q&A short, I do have the Warlord Titan tucking me into bed, and that is all of that any of us will ever see or do. Because, yeah, I had to do that with other people in the house, by the way. There's my dedication to the craft. And I also do paint the buttstock silver. At some point, I will paint them gold or brass, just like a real Lee Enfield. But for now, this will be just fine. And there's a rifle. I don't know if he has a Death Guard Warlord STL. But he might, and if he does, it wouldn't surprise me. Because he's cheapy. Alright. Now. There is that rifle done. And now, guys, with that, 4 minutes past the 2-hour mark. Ha! I like that when it said 4:20. Haha, but. Okay, great. Okay. What's awesome is I was really worried when I started streaming that it would be people really concerned about painting. But I got you guys, and you guys are the greatest freaking batch of guys ever, by the way. this commentary, oh my god, it's all I could ever hope for. Haha, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm streaming, and so that's freaking awesome. I love it so much. Sorry, I had to rant about that because you guys have been awesome, and it makes me very happy. But guys, with all that being said, my incessant ramblings aside, looky what we got done today. We made some progress. Because that's details, and that can be annoying sometimes. Especially when you have a ton of them. But everything except the tank. Exactly. Well, actually, hold on. Hold on. I can't actually put the tank here as well because I did do some painting on the tank. We painted the non-metallic metal. So legally, we're good. Should I have changed the stream name later? Perhaps. But it's all part of a greater whole. This is where we get into the philosophy part of the entire bit, okay? Tank is tanked. Wonderful. So yeah, with all that, let's actually just, we got all that done. And it's all great and goated. So the next time we actually... You drew me a hat. You drew me a hat. And hold on. Hey. What should you add next? Hold on. I know what you should add next, but I'm not gonna say it yet until I see the hat. Just until it confirms my suspicions. Hold on. Mossy Man, let me refresh the page. Am I a leprechaun? Okay. What do we add next? Let's see. Honestly, we're good. Cat ears. No, it couldn't be cat ears. It would have to be horse ears. That's a conversation for a whole nother time. Just know it's a conversation of all time, and that we'll probably have it at some point. Just like the Lee Enfield rant video. Maybe I'll just have a video titled Rant. Cat ears sounds good. Not cat ears, horse ears. I want horse ears. Give me horse ears. Or actually, no. You know what? Cat. I heard cat. No, yeah, cat ears are fun. Oh gosh, the search history. Search history is gonna be. But I gotta. Okay, hold on. Everyone, shush. Everyone, let him cook. Let him cook. Hold on. Yes, 420 Manhattan knows. Uma Masume. Hold on. I want horse ears. Like that. Not like that. Like that. See the horse ears? That's what I want. Exactly. Horse ears are a bayonet. So, anyways, back to this guy. No, but what I was going to say, what you should honestly add, maybe don't add the horse ears. Maybe, again, don't clip that. Again, this whole thing will be annihilated into hell. But maybe a mustache. Wouldn't a mustache look good? Like a twirly little scheme of mustache. Something like that. Perhaps. Bear in mind, I'm using my finger on a phone screen to draw these. Okay, maybe glowing eyes. You could do glowing eyes. I've put glowing eyes on myself actually for the thumbnail of the new Warlord Titan video, so you might not have to worry about that too much. But with laser, those were the glowing eyes. I think I did glowing laser eyes. I think that's what I did. Just like the brain rot. Hold on, wait. What's the brain rot laser eyes? Right? It's like something like, it's not exactly like that. It's more so AI generated rather than an actual filter or something like that. But it's along those lines. No, wait, it was a pencil stash. Exactly, a pencil stash. Where you look at it, you go, oh, that's funny. Let's see. Nope. Oh God. Okay, yeah. Remove. The profile pic is epic. Guys, I gotta go, bro. Except I'm too intrigued by this. This is nuts. I gotta actually set my foot down though. I'm having way too much fun. You guys are outrageous. This is hilarious. And I'm actually gonna die. A pencil stash. Yeah, when I get back, horse ears and a pencil stash. How does that sound next stream? Whether it's the gaming stream or the next painting stream. But yeah, we got details done. Next will probably be actually painting the tank. Probably the lenses on the tank, actually. Because that's going to take a while, but, you know, we're in it for the long haul, eh? And that I might actually have to pull out a fancy brush. Or we do the gun. We do stuff on the gun. Please be careful with the mustache. We Germans have a bad history there. Well, yeah, it's a pencil mustache. I don't want a Charlie Chaplin mustache, ladies and gentlemen. Would it be funny? I won't answer that for the sake of my future. But it would be a thing. Yes, oh, there was some, I forget what it was. Guys, he's wearing a t-shirt with the German. Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be bad, yeah. I got my $5 shirts I bought when I was broke from spending too much on Warhammer. It's not a good look, gentlemen. I'm already at a disadvantage. That was my first ever comment, by the way. It was on Instagram where I was posting, and it was someone assuming the German flag meant a different German flag, which is funny, but no. It would the shirt was $5, and so I bought like 5 of them from a surplus store. And yeah, that's pretty much that whole that's the story there, gentlemen. Trust me. Now, guys, I got to skedaddle now, but we got a whole lot done, and might see you Saturday, Sunday maybe. Who knows what will happen? But I'll probably definitely see you Monday, Tuesday, and next Thursday. That's kind of the general schedule I'm going towards and sticking to. And it's been going great so far. So, guys, until I see you all again, you be good. Based on the chat, we'll see if you're good. Hopefully so. But without further just incessant rambling about the whole thing, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a ton of fun. We got a ton of stuff done. We learned a whole bunch. We rambled about guns, about old World War I and Boer War guns. But without further ado, hold on. I got to remember there's an actual dedicated stop stream button. So, guys, I will see you around, okay? And until I see you then, we'll stop and you'll... Good day to you all. Boom. Yes, auf Wiedersehen. It's French.